Hello and welcome to the program. This is the Gavel. I am Benny Ark. The National Assembly held a historic joint sitting of both chambers to commemorate 25 years of the nation's democratic journey. For the first time, the president attended a joint sitting without presenting the budget, marking a significant milestone in the Fourth Republic. Here is the report.
On Wednesday, the 29th of May, the National Assembly held a joint sitting of both chambers in commemoration of 25 years of the nation's democratic journey. For the first time in the history of the Fourth Republic, the president was expected to attend, but not to present the budget.
There is no better place to commence this revolution of going back to our genealogy than the National Assembly, made of very patriotic, not just representatives, but elected representatives of the people of Nigeria. The voice of the National Assembly is the voice of Nigeria.
President Bola Tinubu, accompanied by Vice President Kashim Shettima, was admitted into the Green Chamber, where a host of past lawmakers, as well as governors, early admitted were present. President Tinubu had just signed the National Anthem Bill into law, prompting the joint sitting to jettison the 46-year-old anthem for a different tune from 1960 when the country gained independence. The Senate President welcomes President Tinubu, who delivers a short speech.
You just greet us. You may say a word, you may wave, you may stand up and take a bow, because this is the chambers. However you do it, and thereafter, we will allow you to take your exit while we continue with our proceedings. You intend to celebrate Democracy Day, which is June 12th. But out of honor and respect for the National Assembly, you said you must pass through the National Assembly on your first anniversary in office.
We have no other choice. It is our nation. No one, no age, no other institution or personality will help us. We are walking the talk. I will soon bring year 2024 appropriation bill. That is just for your information.
After the brief speech, another attempt is launched made to familiarize with the reintroduced national anthem. President Bola Tinubu immediately proceeds to the new National Assembly Library complex named after him.
In a surprise move, the Senate has decided to leave the 3-month suspension of Senator Abdul Ningi effective immediately. The recall follows a heartfelt apology from Deputy Minority Leader Senator Abba, who took full responsibility for the actions of the suspended senator and moved a motion for his recall. Here is the report.
The Senate has pardoned and recalled Senator Abdul Ningi, who was suspended for 3 months on the 12th of March 2024. The recall, which comes 2 weeks before its original expiration, follows a motion moved by the Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Abba, who apologized on behalf of the suspended senator and took responsibility for his actions.
Note further that Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi was asked to address this allegation of budget padding against the National Assembly following a motion of urgent national importance moved by Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adeola, the chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations. And failing to address the allegations, the Senate resolved to suspend Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi for 3 months for violating legislative rules, misconduct, and unethical behavior for the interview he granted on BBC Media on the 2024 Appropriation Act, the legislation which process he was part of. And aware that the said Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, being under suspension, has spent over 2 months outside the precincts of the National Assembly complex and needs to return to continue with his legislative activities as a senator representing Bauchi Central Senatorial District. Flowing from the above, the Senate minority leadership takes full responsibility for the actions of our colleague Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi and apologizes on his behalf. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to reconsider the additional resolution of the Senate 1 of the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 13 March 2024, to recall Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi to the Senate as senator representing Bauchi Central Senatorial District.
He's a very resourceful senator and one of our own, and the Senate is a family, irrespective of political divide, irrespective of religious divide, irrespective of languages. This happening today goes in tandem with the spirit of what the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Reps, has done by bringing back our old national anthem, which simply says that though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Accordingly, Senator Abdul Ningi is hereby pardoned by the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and is also hereby recalled to participate in all proceedings of the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives was divided over the use of mercenaries to combat terrorism and kidnapping. Some lawmakers feared that it would breed more insecurity, while others believed it will complement the actions of the security agencies.
You represent Bende, I represent Chibok Damboa Federal Constituency. People of Bende deserve to know the truth from you, and people of Chibok Damboa Goza deserve to know the truth from me. And I can only know that if and only if I've been communicated effectively. Right. For that matter, this is where I want to make my contribution. I urge us to at least look at the alternative of bringing in mercenaries to assist our existing military and other agents of coercion on ground to end insecurity in the country.
We agreed that what we are fighting is asymmetric war. It is not a normal war that you can invite mercenary that you are comparing to Ukraine and the other country. These are war that is not known to the system. So please, inviting mercenaries will create more insecurity for us in the future.
The amendment was eventually stepped down. A related motion bordering on the safety of law enforcement agents was considered and adopted.
We are praying that thousands of law enforcement officers attacked by civilians who are injured or even killed in line with their duty. Right, Honourable Speaker, we are concerned that the country will continue to lose more dedicated and gallant law enforcement officers if measures are not being put in place.
The attention of the House was also drawn to the mass retrenchment by the central bank.
Worried that these retrenchments, without any sort of fair hearings or panels or criteria set out, could cost the nation a lot in settlements. A director's tenure, according to civil service rules, is 2 terms of 4 years, or 60 at the attainment of the age of 60, whichever comes first, I believe. This makes them like permanent secretaries. Their capacity being thrown away cannot be easily replaced. Also worried about staff morale and progression. People choose careers in civil service so that they can have some sort of security and learn from their superiors. Terminating appointments arbitrarily will amount to killing the morale of junior staffs, not knowing what their own fates could be. Concerned that, considering the President's renewed hope agenda and the state of the economy right now, it will be extremely unprofessional to retrench over 600 families, especially where households rely on such persons for their daily livelihoods.
The House mandated its Committee on Banking Regulations to look into the reforms of the CBN, which had warranted the downsizing. Outside the chamber, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Representative Tajuddin Abbas, and the Minister of Blue Economy, Mr. Boyega Oyetola, have pushed for the establishment of a shipping regulatory agency in the country. Speaker and the Minister jointly canvassed for the establishment in Abuja during a public hearing on the Shipping Council's repeal and enactment of the Shippers Council and Economic Regulatory Bill on Monday.
This reenactment bill not only seeks to ensure that the proposed agency establishes an economic regulatory framework for effective and efficient regulation of commercial and related activities in the shipping and port sector, but also aims to create an enabling environment for private sector participation in the provision and operation of regulated services in Nigeria, amongst others.
We know in the aviation sector, regulator is there, communication sector, regulator is there, in the power sector, regulator is there, in the upstream sector, regulator is there, in the downstream sector, you have regulator. I mean, all the economic sectors have regulators with the exception of the shipping services. So I think this is one more reason why we even have to double our efforts to make sure that this bill sees the light of the day at the shortest possible time by God's grace.
The ministry is in the process of collating its position on this act and will submit in due course accordingly. We encourage every member here present and stakeholders to present genuinely their interests with a view to helping the House to take the best decision in the interest of our great nation and the sector.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives is emphasizing its resolve to support the executive arm towards effective implementation of state of emergency in the nation's health sector. The chairman, House Committee on Health Institutions, Dr. Amos Magaji, announced this at a public hearing on some bills considered by the House and referred to his committee for proper investigation.
I agree totally that the overhead is grossly inadequate, and we're going to look at it in the 2025 appropriation to see that the overhead is critically looked into, but we also need to look at other areas where we will also generate money. So these we want to look at, so the solutions, together we can move our health sector forward.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching The Gavel. For years, the autonomy of local government has been a topic of intense debate. Now, as the National Assembly embarks on a new round of constitutional amendments, the House is hosting a nationwide discussion on enhancing security and good governance at the grassroots level. This initiative highlights the vital importance of local governments, which are the closest to the people and play a crucial role in addressing their needs and concerns. Let's take a look.
The autonomy of local governments has been a subject of debate for many years. And as the National Assembly commences another round of constitutional amendments, the House is holding a national discourse on Nigeria's security challenges and good governance at the local government level. This is to further buttress the importance of the local government, which is the closest to the people.
I call on all governors to put Nigeria first and collectively support the President in the quest to grant full autonomy to local governments. We must definitely resolve the controversy surrounding the status of local governments by providing the framework needed to ensure their optimal operation. Distinguished colleagues, by re-emphasizing that we are well aware of the problems that hinder the optimal performance of local governments, numerous solutions have been proposed and debated extensively over the past decades. The key issue now is not to repeat and rehearse these arguments, but to agree on the next steps and to agree to build a strong consensus and to ensure the political will necessary to implement these changes are sufficiently in place.
Whether corruption exists in the national level, in the federal level or in the state level, we identify it as true. So what negates the local governments from also having the same issues, especially when you're considering all 774 local governments in question? The local governments will be answerable to the federal government, which is one of the concerns of the state. And if the federal government is paying state governments these funds, what anti-corruption or anti-graft agency will be in charge of ensuring that they are properly investigated? Is it the AFCC? If it's the AFCC, would they be able to investigate 774 local governments as well as the states, as well as the ministries, as well as the agencies?
We need also to understand the institutions that are stakeholders in the governance of local government, like the security situation, the DPO, the SSS, the traditional institution. The traditional institution has broken down. People are behaving anyhow. All our forests, they are existing in a local government. Now our forest, the forest is supposed to be to balance the ecosystem of the environment. But now the forest is now a city to bandits, and the forest belongs to a local government.
The local government system exists.
The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice wants the control of the local government out of the hands of state governors.
Many experts have proposed that there is need for scrapping the State Independent Electoral Commission. Their functions and powers should be transferred to the Independent National Electoral Commission, because the State Independent Electoral Commission remains an appendage of the incumbent governor, and it behaves as such. I have not seen any state where local government election is conducted, however poorly the governor or the government may have performed, that will not return the members of the political party as the winner of the election.
President Bola Tinubu is represented by the Minister of Defense. He decries the degrading state of the local governments.
Local governments are the frontline defenders against insecurity, as they are closest to the people and possess intimate knowledge of their communities' needs and challenges. This is why some have advocated for community policing as a finesse to our internal security challenges. It is in light of the foregoing that our administration is committed to implementing measures aimed at bolstering the local government system, recognizing that sustainable development, national security, and prosperity can only be achieved when every level of government functions effectively and accountably. We must realize that the local government system is not just a matter of administrative convenience. It is cornerstone of our national security architecture.
The House of Representatives believes that by holding this discourse, it would carry stakeholders along, especially the state assemblies, to avoid another rejection of the Constitution Amendment Bill at the state level.
We spoke with Senator Yemi Adaramodu, representing Ekiti South Senatorial District, about the challenges and achievements in his constituency. He shared valuable insights into the progress made so far and his plans to address the needs of his people. This is the interview.
I've always been with my people, even when I was not a legislator. And I was in the House of Representatives in the 9th Assembly. And before then, I had been the Chief of Staff in Ekiti State. I had been a local government chairman. And then my people in my own constituency, especially the South Central District that I represent now, they know me, that ever before I was made their senator, I've always been very, very close to them, very accessible to them. I've always made myself available to sit down with them, live with them. And even for now, I'm always at home. At times you can even almost not know whether I work in Abuja or in the South Central District. So I'm always at home. And then when I started as House of Representatives member from Ekiti South Central District Federal Constituency 1, comprising 3 local governments of Iseonu, Ikere, and Ekiti Southwest, I told them then that, look, if I represent you and I don't do well, if I come back next time for whatever position, don't support me. But if I've done well, let your votes show that I've done well. And to the greater glory of God and to the benevolence of our people, in the Ekiti South Senatorial District, Federal Constituency 1 then, which I represented in the House of Representatives, there was no village, there was no town that I did not touch, that you will not see my own legacy, either clinic, school, road, potable water provision, and several like that, halls, town halls, and so many things like that. And apart from that, human development. And it will interest you that I even facilitated the employment of nothing less than 70 indigenes from that my own federal constituency then into various facets, various sectors, either federal government, employment, and sundry. So I did all those things. I have even given free uniforms to indigent students in schools across the senatorial district. I've done empowerment for youth, ICT training and startup. I've done it for them. I've done for traders. I've done for even POS operators. I even give them POS machines and give them startup funds to start their POS. And I've done even empowerment, professional, because when I do my own empowerment, it has to be for the artisans. I look at them, especially women and the young ones. I look at them, if you have gone to train as a tailor and you are unable to maybe have your tools, I buy for them. For organizer, I bought for them, and several like that.
Do you have offices where you operate from?
Yes, I have my office. Yes, I have my office. My office is at Ado Road, Ikere Ekiti. That is the headquarters of my senatorial district. It was the headquarters of my own federal constituency then, and then it's still the same headquarters of my senatorial district. And when you get there, you will see activities there at my office, senatorial office in the Ikere Ekiti. That is along Ado Ekiti Road. Presently, we are upgrading the hall in the Ogoga Palace. We are upgrading it. And then, like I said, apart from several children that I'm training in schools, both in secondary and in the university, that I am training, apart from them, there are several of them. And then, I cannot even count how many that I do goodwill to and make sure that I help them to establish businesses, petty trade, and then give them support in their professions. I'm always at home. When you get to my senatorial district, our people, they even nickname me. They even call me ATM. And you know, before the local people can call you ATM, it means that automated transfer machine. So meaning that there's no way you will come to me and you will not take something away. So everybody knows that one in my own senatorial district. And I'm like that. During Christmas, throughout, I didn't leave my people. I was there for Christmas. I was there New Year. I didn't travel anywhere. I didn't go to anywhere. I was at home. And then, apart from giving palliatives, apart from that one, I give, and directly given by me. So I still stayed at home, listen to them. You can ask. You can do your random sampling in my own senatorial district. So I'm always there for them. And that is what I think I can do for our people.
That's a wrap for this week's program. Your feedback is valuable, so reach out to us at the Gavel at channelstv.com. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Benny Ark. Stay safe and be well.